Hi, this is Melia for Loom with M, and today I'm going to teach you how to make this cute little squid guy. I think I'm going to call it a squid, but I haven't quite decided. If you have any better name, I will change it. And, well, let's get started. Band requirements. So, for this design, you'll need 49 A-colored bands, 18 B-color bands, so that's a total of 67. Now, I am using beads for my eyes, if you can tell there, but you could also use 2 black bands, so that would make it 69. Let's get started. Okay, so to start off, let's turn our loom so that the red arrow is facing towards us. I'm going to start at the bottom of my loom, but you really could start anywhere on your loom. We're going to start off, it doesn't matter where you start, with a simple starburst pattern. So we're going to go out. I'm starting here, but you could start somewhere else from the center and do the 6 bands going out in a clockwise rotation. Now we need to add cap bands to this. We're going to do a single band doubled over. And then do that all the way around. Single band, doubled over. We also need to place a tripled over cap band on the center of the starburst. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there should be 3 loops. Next, we need to loop out the starburst. So go in through your cap band, pull back the cap band, I guess, and loop out the top band out on the starburst. Mine is up here, but yours could be somewhere else, just as long as it's the top band. And loop the rest of the starburst out. So once you've finished looping out the starburst, just check to make sure yours looks like mine, and then we can continue. So the next part, we need to extend this and add a band on every one of these pins. So we're going to stick our hook in and put it out to the side, just like finishing a bracelet. Put a band on it and bring it up through the channels, and then put the other end on your hook. Next, we need to take off all of the bands on this pin because they're secure on this one. So you can pull them off and then place the bands that are on your hook on this pin. And we need to do this all the way around. I just started with that pin. You could have started anywhere. Okay, so next one. Stick your hook in, point it out to the side, grab a band, pull it up through the channel, and put the other end on your hook. Next, pull off the bands that are on this pin and replace them with the ones on your hook. Now you need to do this all the way around, so finish the rest of them. Another strategy would be to take them off and keep them on your hook if this is easier for you, and then turn your hook upside down and slide them onto the band, then put them back on. So you can also take them off first. There we go. Sorry if I went off camera, I need to practice on that. And there we go, I think my last one had a little bit of trouble, but so yours should look like this. So we basically dropped all of the bands that we had on the pins and replaced them with a single band. It just makes it the head a little bit better and larger, and I kind of like this look. So next, we need to do the eyes. So I can show you how to do it. I'm going to show you first how to do it with rubber bands, and then I'm going to show you how I did it with my beads. To do the eyes, I'm going to show you on a rubber band first, and then I will go on and do it with beads, how I'm going to do it. So put a single rubber band and wrap it around 4 times on your hook. And then take a single, your body colored band, and then we want to slide all of these black loops. Let me try to focus a little bit better. All of those little black loops need to go onto that single band. Sorry, it might be hard to see this. I'm not quite the best for showing this, but I'm not a pro, so that's okay. And once you've created this eye, then we're just gonna put it on our loom, right on these bottom 2 pegs. And then you do that again for the other eye. Now I'm gonna show you what to do for beads. So I just have 2 small black beads. I don't know if you can see them. There we go. And I'm going to show you how to do one of them, and then I'm going to do the other. So I have a piece of craft wire that I folded in half, but I've heard dental floss also works. So whatever you can figure out and find would work probably. Oh, why am I putting this on first? Wow. So I'm going to put this rubber band on half of it and pull it to the middle of my craft wire, which is folded over. And then next I'm going to take the bead and I'm going to slide it, oh, mine's uneven, but I'm going to slide it on both loops of the craft wire and then pull it onto the rubber band. And then I can slide the rubber band out. And now we need to do that again. Okay, now we have both of our eye bands, and you could have done them with either rubber bands or beads. And we just need to place them on the bottom 3 pins. So the first one goes from the bottom left to center, and then the other one goes from the center to the right. And then for the rest of this row, we need to place single bands all the way around. Well, not on top of the eye bands, but the rest of the way. So 4 bands, like that. Now, we need to loop the bottom 2 bands up and over. So we're gonna come in from the side, we're not going down the pin, no. We're gonna grab from the side here, the bottom 2 bands, let's see if I can, no, not really. Bottom 2 bands and pull them over the pin. Again, find those bottom 2 bands and pull them over the pin. We need to do that for all of them. I'm going to show you one more time. Grab the bottom 2 bands and put them over the pin. Once you're done, you can push it down a little just to make room for the next row. Okay, now we just need to do a row of single bands. So we're going to start. You can start wherever, but I'm going to start here and place a row of single bands around. This is a growing up design, so after this row we can start to kind of pop this off the middle pin and make sure it grows up correctly. So now I've placed my bands around, and now we're lifting the bottom 2 bands again. So find the bottom 2 bands and lift them over. Bottom 2 bands, lift them over. One more time. My bands are twisted here, so I'm going to move this band up so I know these two are the bottom two. There we go. Up and over. There we go. Now push it down one more time. And now we need to do a row of double wrapped bands. But first I'm gonna have us pull it up a little bit. So you can kind of put your hook through the center and pull it up over the center pin. So it kind of pops up a little and makes it more squid shaped. So you can just kind of pull at it a little bit till it's above the center pin. Now we can add that row of doubled bands. So again, it's a single band, doubled over. Let's see if I can get this right this time. Perfect. Single band, doubled over, and do this all the way around. There we go. I had some trouble with my bands there. I think I got it sorted out. And we're gonna do the bottom two up and over again. So find the bottom two, go over the top. All the way around. Bottom two, up and over. Once you have all of the bands over, we need to, let's see, what do we need to do next? Okay, now we need to switch colors. We're gonna add another row in a different color. So if you wanna see on this guy, we're already at this row where it switches colors. I mean, you could do this in one color, but I think I like how the color stripes. I just think it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna push my bands down, and we're gonna do single row of your second color. Okay. And now we need to loop the bottom four up and over. So they should be a different color. And there should be four of them because we did two double wrapped bands. So lift those four up and over. And you don't have to do them all at once because you might have a weaker hook and it might break because they're doubled over and it's kind of tight. So just be cautious when you lift over these four bands. Okay, so once we've finished this row, you can kind of pop it up a little bit more. You can see our squid face. And just kind of go around and double check to make sure that your bands, like that you have two bands on each pin and that you didn't forget to lift over any. Just kind of double check and then we'll be good. How come my camera's out of focus? There we go. A little bit better. Sorry, it's still kind of blurry. I have a bad camera. Next, we need to do another row of our first color. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you can start anywhere. Just go around placing single bands of your first color. Oh, so sorry. I realized I started lifting them over. Yeah, you need to take the bottom two of that second color and lift them over. So sorry I didn't say anything. I just totally forgot. I'm going on autopilot. Guess I've made too many of these. So you just go around and lift all of them up and over. Exactly the same as before. And once you're finished, you can start to kind of pull up the squid. You see, it's starting to come together. And just kind of squish him around to make sure he's good. And then we want to push down the bands on our pin. And now we need to do another row of color 2. So single bands all the way around. Same as the last row. Once you finish placing the bands around, same thing, lift the bottom two up and over. That's what gives this squid its 3D shape. Kind of builds up when you go up and over. And I love this style of character. And you can see it's starting to come together even more. Now we need to do another row of, what did we just do? Oh my god, sorry. We need to do one more row of color 1, and that will be our last row of color 1. And I really hope I counted my bands right. I should have enough left. I've got one more. It's not a good sign. You gotta pull it up a little bit. And now we need to lift the bottom two. You guessed it, up and over. And now we have one final row, unless I'm wrong, which I don't think I am, at least not yet. So single bands around like a normal row, and we're also going to lift the bottom two up and over in case I forget to tell you in a minute. Okay, you can see our squid's starting to come together even more, and lift the bottom two up and over. And do I have them all over? Yep. So I lifted them all up. And since this is our last row, we need to tie a slip knot on all of these rubber bands. But the rubber bands are intersecting on different pins, so I am not really sure how to teach this. It might seem a little bit confusing, and I mean, just try not to get frustrated and keep trying to work it out. So basically we need to find where the bands are coming from. So I'm just going to start on this pin, doesn't really matter. This band's coming from over there, so I'm going to lift it over there. This band, we need to find another band that comes from it. This one comes with it, so I'm going to put them on this pin. Because these bands are, this is the same band, and I want to put the same bands on the same pin. Can you see what I'm doing? And next, I need to find the bands that go on this pin. So this one comes from there, it's the right one. Oh my god, I just dropped a band. Whew. And I'm just gonna stretch it over here just so I can see the rest of the bands on this pin. And let's look at this one. Where does this one come from? This one comes from over there, and I don't need it right now, so I'm gonna stretch it on a random pin. And then I'm gonna move this one, because I know this one comes from that pin. And this is the same band that I'm gonna want to slip knot later, so I put them on this band, or this pin, sorry. Getting my words mixed up. This one comes from over there, and I don't need that yet, so I'm gonna put it on a random pin. And this one comes from, it's the same pin as this one. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, my camera just ran out of battery, so I am restarting later when my battery is a little bit more charged. Okay. So I'm going to move this band over to this pin because it is the same band as this one, and I can tell that by seeing how it pulls. And next I'm going to see where this band comes from. Oh, it comes from over here, so I'm going to place it on this pin for now. Oh, I dropped it. I do that all the time. Okay, and now I'm going to move this one because I know this one is the same rubber band as this one here. So I'm just going to move it onto that pin so that the same rubber band is still on the same pin. And now I can see what rubber bands are on this pin. I'm pretty sure these two are the same. Nope, they aren't. Okay, so I'm gonna put this band over, oh no, I dropped it. Okay, sorry, I just dropped a band and I had to fix it. So now I had moved this rubber band over onto this pin, and I know it's the same one as this one. Please don't tell me I just dropped that. Okay, I didn't. So this is the same rubber band, that's the same rubber band. This one, I'm not really sure what happened, but this is, yes, the same rubber band. And now I'm pretty sure everything is the same rubber band. Wait, hold on, what's this? This is, yeah, it's the right rubber band, but it's tangled in another one, so I just dropped it. Now let's hope I got it right. Okay, so I just had a little rubber band issues, but I finished. I really hope you won't have any issues. Usually I don't, but you know, it always happens to be the one I do the tutorial on. So now we need to tie slip knots on all of these ends. So that's what creates the little ties at the bottom, and it also is a smart way to tie it off. So we just come in on the bottom band, like come in from the outside, and lift it off. So do that to every rubber band. One more. And there we go. So now you can kind of like take your hook and pull on them a little bit, not too tight because we don't want to snap the rubber band, but kind of tighten them a little. And then place them back onto the pin. So I'm going to tighten all of them, kind of give a little tug on each of them, just to kind of make sure the slip knot is kind of knotted and in place, and it will be better for your squid, because I do not want it to fall apart when it comes off the loom, because that would be tragic. Look at that, I snapped a rubber band. Well, it happens. I'll replace it later. Should be good for now. And then you can kind of pull your squid off the loom and give it some more tugs to snug it up. And there you have it. There is your squid charm.